So I recently gave you a list of my favorite or my most complimented cologne fragrances. Well, I'm back again with another one, but this one is my most complimented niche and designer fragrances. Stick around, I'll give you what I've got. All right, what's good, y'all? Listen, welcome back to the channel. Definitely appreciate you stopping through. Appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit. Hopefully you're having an amazing day. Hopefully things are going exactly the way you want them to, need them to, and expect them to. If this is your first time here, do me the honor. Go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notifications. That way, every time I go live, every time I drop new content, you get the notification and you can be right back here with the rest of the Smell Good squad. And what's up to the squad? Listen, good to see y'all again as well. Check out, there's some discount codes and links in the description. Make those available to yourself. And then if you would consider becoming a member, I've got memberships that I'm starting as well. Now, let's just jump right into it. Let's just get started. Let's have some conversation, right? As far as today's conversation, I've got seven fragrances, designer and niche, that are in my collection that get compliments, right? These are some of my most complimented fragrances. When I wear them, compliments just, they're there, right? Again, we don't live for compliments. We don't, necessarily have to have compliments, but they are nice. And that's just a sign of a good fragrance, right? So first one up, first one is from one of my favorite houses as far as just from a nostalgic standpoint. This one is Mont Blanc Explorer Extreme. Now, this is the Explorer Extreme. Of course, you may know about Mont Blanc Explorer. This Explorer Extreme is the latest one that came from that line. Now, what this kind of, as far as the space that this is put in, I would give this, as far as this would be Sauvage Elixir meets Aventus Absolute. Not saying that that's what was intended, but just to kind of give you a frame of reference as far as fragrance notes and where this sits, what this would kind of be like and sit in. This is going to be just one, definitely for fall and winter. But you could even probably get away with this on a nice spring day. Definitely the way that this just peels off of skin and the way that this kind of just projects and all that fun stuff. Really nice in the air. One of my most complimented ones. Again, this is from Mont Blanc. This is Explorer Extreme. Explorer Extreme. Next one up is one that when you see the dent in this, I wore this a lot last spring, last summer. It is one that when I wear it to work, when I wear it just out and about, it's a great fragrance, especially, yes, for spring and summer. I am talking about from Hermes, Hermes. This is Eau Intense Vetiver. Eau Intense Vetiver. This one, I'm telling you, starts off, of course, with some citrus, which is just really nice. And then as far as just, it kind of drives into this nice woodiness, that just nice, fresh woodiness type of thing. I enjoy this, definitely like wearing this, but also it seems to just, again, generate some compliments on its own. And yes, you can see that dent is real. And when you compare that to all the other things that I have in my collection, that tells you that I've been wearing this one. This is one that, yeah. So again, from Hermes or Hermes, this is Eau Intense Vetiver. Another one that you might want to consider, especially if you're looking for fragrances that smell great, could possibly get you some compliments and things of that nature. All right, let's dive over into the niche just a little bit. I've got some other ones, of course, but let's just dive over into niche. One of the ones that you might look at this and say, well, are you really wearing it? But this one, I'm telling you, I've already gone through a 10 ml of this. This is my second iteration of it, as it were. I had the 10 ml initially. Now I've got the 30 ml. I'm talking about from the house of Savar Fair. This is Soul Cafe. Soul Cafe. When I tell you the blood orange, the coffee, I want to say, I can't remember if it's tobacco, but yes, whatever this is, this is definitely one that will waft off of skin. I've told the story before of how I was out, hanging out with some friends, hanging out, and was wearing this. One of my friends shook my hand. He's like, bro, what are you wearing? Yes. Then we were sitting all at the meal and we were all, sitting around the table. The waitress is like, somebody smells good over here. Yes. This is a fragrance that, for me, from the house of Savar Fair, is one of my favorite ones. And I think I have pretty much everything from the house of Savar Fair in some way, shape, or form. But this one right here is the one that I know it's not their signature. I know it's not their the one that they call signature, but this is the one that, if you have to get one, or if you're going to get one from Savar Fair, this is definitely the one to get. Other great ones, yes, but this one. And this one, yes, is a compliment beast. This is Soul Cafe from the house of Savar. All right. Another one is from the house of Goldfield and Banks. And for me, Goldfield and Banks is one of those, I would consider them more of an entry-level niche brand. I've got another one from another entry-level niche. You might know who I'm talking about. But this is one that kind of slid under the radar for me. Now I know that there's been, especially now that I've seen it and what have you, I know that there's been a lot of buzz about it. But when I tell you that this just works really well, smells really great in the air. And I remember I was at work one day and someone was like, hey, yeah, what is that, right? Had to let them know this is from Goldfield and Banks. This is Ingenious Ginger. Now this, you've got citrus, but you've got this the ginger, which gives it a little sparkliness. Like literally, it feels like, it smells like the sparkles, or not the sparkles, but kind of the bubbles that you might get from, or the fizziness. There's the word. The fizziness that you might get from like a Sprite or something like that. You get that same almost sensation of fizziness with this. And then just the dry down is this nice creamy vanilla. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. But again, from Goldfield and Banks, another compliment magnet is going to be Ingenious Ginger. All right, so the next one up is one that from the house of Boss, right? Hugo Boss. For me, Boss is hit or miss. There's some things that are really good, some things that are like, eh. But this is one that I think may be an underrated one. This is from the Boss, or from Boss, of course, but it is Boss Bottled Infinite. Boss Bottled Infinite. This is a nice woody, aromatic fragrance. Got some lavender, some, I want to say apple up top and things of that nature. Definitely one that smells really great in the air, smells really great off skin and off clothing. I would say the knock against this is probably the performance. The performance is not extremely great. Probably average to a little less than average, but because you can get this on discounters for a fairly reasonable price, this might be something to pick up just to kind of carry around with you, have around at the office, what have you, when you want something that is going to smell good, smell nice, smell clean, and also potentially generate some compliments for you. Again, this one from Boss is Boss Bottled Infinite. All right. And then last two, I'll give you from my guy Terrence over at Nazar. This one right here, Royal Paradise from Nazar. This is one spring, summer beast, first of all. When I tell you the spring, the summer, this is going to be worn some more. But as far as compliments, when I was wearing this to work, they were happening, right? Out and about in the streets, they were happening. Wife enjoyed it as well. So again, from the house of Nazar, Royal Paradise. I know there's like pineapple, there's berries. I want to say currant. I want to say there's some vanilla. Yeah, you can look it up and find it, but I've got the link down in there for as far as Nazar, save yourself some money. But this right here, yeah, definitely one of the ones that I'm going to recommend as a compliment magnet. Smells really great. Again, from Nazar, Royal Paradise. All right. And now the one that, if I were to say, is probably one of my most complimented fragrances, it is one, and granted, it's because especially early on when I got it, I was wearing the living daylights out of it. So it had, yes, more of an opportunity to get those compliments. This is one that I typically, when I'm traveling, it's one of those fragrances I just throw on just because I know it's going to smell great, not be offensive, especially if we're talking about being in a flying tin can thousands of feet in the air. Want to make sure that you smell good, but you don't want to overpower the entire room, right? And so this is one of those that I remember we were running late, trying to get, well, we were at the airport, but I had a problem with my ticket, so I was running, trying to get that taken care of and squared away. And I was asking the lady who was kind of like at the head of the line, which direction I need to go. She's like, I'm sorry, you smell great. Thank you. But now can you get me where I need to go? This is a fragrance that, yes, for me is one of those that just gets compliments. This is from Mancera. This is Cedrat. This is just kind of like an OG, almost, I would consider this at this point to almost be a staple in most collections, right? Not saying you have to have it, but this is one of those that is kind of like, yeah, you might want to have it in your collection. Definitely a great fragrance. Definitely a nice, some citrus, woodiness, what have you. Definitely one that, especially when it gets off skin, when it gets off clothing, is going to smell great in the air and does a good job of performing. And yes, this does project off of skin and off of clothing. This is one that is going to do what you want it to do. Again, from the house of Mancera, this is Cedrat Boise. Now, what are the ones that you are going to recommend to the rest of the community down in the comments? Which are the ones that you're going to say are the complement factors or the complement magnets that you have in your collection that are niche or designer? Let us know in the comments. And if you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe, request notifications, and then we'll see you next video. Have a great one. Be blessed. Peace, y'all.